because I'm an idiot. Welcome back to the last call. Apparently, this is going out to everybody because I didn't hit the right button. So, freebies for everyone. This is what it's like when you're a Patreon member.
My computer
So that was
doesn't
good.
do
We
this.
had a lot of topics. I thought it went well. I liked the conversation about everything.
I'm getting pumped up about Kennesaw State football. That's all I'm getting pumped up.
Oh God.
Not them, but just going to the game. I'm pumped up about that.
I'm looking forward to
I
the
think it's gonna
tailgate.
be fun. Yeah.
I'm looking forward. I think the day experience will be a good time. We'll go up there, like Ryan was saying earlier. It's an away game, but it's not an away game. We go up there, we can do our thing, be home in our own beds and everything.
It's on a Saturday, isn't it? It's not a Friday game or something.
It's scheduled to be a Saturday. We'll see if that changes, but yeah.
Okay. I don't even know. Is it on like a first weekend of the season or somewhere just inserted in the middle of it?
I think it's the opening game of the season, which puts a little bit more pressure on it, honestly.
It does.
9:05. Oh no, it's not. It'll be the second game of the season. So we'll be hosting the FCS team, North Carolina A&T, to open up the season, and then we'll be at Kennesaw State the week before Georgia Tech comes to Atlanta. It comes downtown.
So we got a 2-game warm up before we hit Tech.
Yeah, we better win that game, man. We better win that game. But, no, so there was a podcast that came out this week, yesterday, something like that, about the college football playoffs. Apparently, SEC and Big Ten are just kind of doing whatever they want to do, and the commissioners are meeting this week to talk about possible future changes, which were expanding to a 14-team or a 16-team playoff as early as 2026.
Wow.
And the proposal that they're supposed to be discussing is for the 14 team would be guaranteed 4 teams SEC, guaranteed 4 teams Big Ten, guaranteed 2 teams ACC, 2 teams Big 12, 1 G5, and then an at-large bid, which they just expect to always be Notre Dame. And if it goes and if they were to take it to 16, it would just be 2 more at-large bids. I guess that's thinking that Notre Dame won't necessarily be the best for the at-large. They could maybe be the top 3 at-large. But then again, so we're still talking about 1 G5 program would be guaranteed.
As long as we maintain our path in, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
The minute they take that away and they're like, oh, just at large, you have to be the one, we're never getting in ever again.
I don't like the idea of expanding and G5 still is maintaining that 1 spot. You're talking. So first of all, it's absolute bullshit that the SEC and Big Ten just get to decide for themselves. They each get 4 teams in, and then you have 2 other conferences, ACC and Big 12, getting 2 teams, and then you have 6 conferences that all get to pick 1 team or have 1 team that earns their berth. I think that have a guaranteed spot, but you need to have more opportunities for the G5 programs to be able to stake a claim to something. You're gonna have 16 teams, and you're not gonna have all conference champions in there.
I mean, you can't guarantee, I guess, in either model that like the SEC is going to have 4 teams that could win it all. I guess probably SEC. I would say the Big Ten might not have 4 teams that are, that last team might not be worthy of that slot, right?
Right.
Maybe better teams from the Big 12, ACC, or the G5, or Notre Dame that belong in that slot, and they just get it. I don't like that.
I don't like the team of I don't like the idea of just guaranteed by conference. Like that's the way it is now with the 12 teams. You take the top highest 4 conference champions, and they get in with their bye. I'm fine with that. But
what's the 16 team model?
Same thing as the 14 team that just there's 2 more at large versus the 1 at large.
I mean, I guess looking at a G5 perspective, I would go with the 16 team because that would at least allow the best chance for a second G5 that's surging to get in.
There's gonna be like a Missouri in there or some crap, anyways.
And there's enough teams to warrant 16. I mean, that's not crazy. I don't think it should expand much past that, but
no,
It's a lot. I mean, and then you figure out when you consider that this will all be going on while the NFL is still in play, and
Well, I mean,
all the
half the NFL goes to the NFL playoffs, right?
Yes.
14 teams.
I thought it was 16. Oh, but if it's 14, that's good. I hope it never goes to 16. But
Well, it just expanded to 14. It was top 12. It was top 6 in each conference, and it just changed to top 7 last year, 2 years ago, something like that.
anything past half is dumb, and I think half is pretty dumb too. But
So in that case, we need to have 67 teams in the playoff.
I
That's
just
half
said I
of.
think half is dumb too.
Okay, so we have 60 teams in the college football playoff.
Yeah, yeah. Much past 16, I feel like it's not great. It's too much going on, and it's a very physical sport and pretty hard to have a long playoff. I mean, I think that sucks for
Well,
the
we
players.
kind of get into the same kind of thing. So if you're going to have 16 teams, 18 teams, 24, whatever that number comes down to, 14 or whatever it is, and you have those bye weeks, or are there going to be bye weeks? It kind of turns into what we were talking about with the Sun Belt basketball tournament, where you have teams that are not playing for 2 or 3 weeks, and then because you're not playing football games every single day. It's not like you're going
Right.
to play the 16, the ones here are going to play on Saturday and then turn around on Sunday and the winner play another game. It really expands the playoffs big time, and you start getting buys in there. The amount of time off. I know the time off between, like back in the old days with the BCS and crap, there was like 4 weeks between the end of the season and the conference championship, which was weird. I don't know. I don't know what the entire that was just the talk about who gets in. There was no talk about what the format would look like.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look at like this year, right? I mean, the top 4 rated teams did not win the national championship or get to the championship game. Teams 5 and 6 got there. So you can say the college football playoff is kind of doing its job, but then you flip this thing on its head and you're like, yeah, but Tennessee is ranked 7th, and
I really wonder
they didn't get in.
I wonder if that Tennessee Ohio State game had been played in Knoxville, if things would have been different.
Different for sure, but like if you look at the teams that didn't get in, I think if you expand it, like you remove all of this team belonged in, like the Alabama, like good Alabama, you're going to get in on merit, whatever. You're probably not going to get all the way through, right? But you move that whiny argument down to where it won't matter anymore, right? Like there's still going to be the argument, like, this team should have gotten in. Like you'll have the G5 probably representative. They'll probably be the G5 whining, like, hey, we deserve to get in over so and so, right, in that last slot.
Well, let's not act like this is being done to try to find the best national champion. It's all being done to create more TV, right?
Fuck,
Shocking.
it's always money.
Shocking. More TV dollars. But they're also
like it.
Like I was talking about earlier, like you're going to be going up against more NFL games at the same time this is going on, and that's like a competition for eyeballs. You already have the college football championship had like 30 something million viewers. The Super Bowl had 145 million viewers. Like people are turning into NFL way more than they are into college football. And if you're playing games on that same, because at that point we already have the NFL playing Saturday and Sunday games, unless the NCAA or ESPN or whoever can come to some kind of arrangement with the NFL, that's where your money's going to come in on these things. But if you're going to put Boise State versus Iowa State, on a Saturday at 1:00 when you've got Giants versus Cowboys, the eyeballs are going to go Giants Cowboys. So
true. I was trying to see if there was they had, here it is. Finally, it took a second. Okay, so let's see. You're talking about 14 teams, right? Or 16. So you had Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, and Alabama. There were 4 teams. Well, there are 5 teams in the top 14. Well, but they don't get the 14th spot. The G5 does. So those 4 teams would have gotten in automatic. So Alabama ranked 11th would have gotten in of the 4 buys. And then let's see, you got Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, and Indiana. They would have gotten in. And then what is it? 8. That's 8. Then
Two
what's
for
next?
ACC and 2 for Big 12.
2 for ACC.
So they've been Clemson.
Clemson and SMU.
Those are the only two that I'm actually excited about right there.
Would have gotten
Clemson just because they beat Sean and SMU because they kind of shocked the entire conference.
Yeah, and then you have what? Then you have Big 12. What do they get? 2?
Yeah, they got 2 as well.
Oof. I mean, they had Arizona State was the only team in the top 16. So BYU would get in.
It's just arbitrary. It makes no sense to admit teams based off of their conference affiliation. There's no reason to it.
Yeah,
it's because of the way the conferences are right now, where like the P5 is so top heavy and just super massive. It's this doesn't make sense anymore.
I think what makes more sense than expanding the playoffs would be for these big, huge conferences to have at least a 4-team conference tournament before then.
Well, but then you need to say that if you lose that, you don't get to go.
I'm not saying if you lose, you don't get to go, but
well, then what's the point if you don't say that?
Let's establish it. Let's establish which teams are actually going to be getting in there.
But if you don't say that, what's the point in the conference championship? Like the SEC championship means nothing.
Yeah, or just abandon conference championship games altogether.
Well, but ours it makes sense, right? But for the SEC, it doesn't make sense. It actually was better for Georgia to not go if they if they didn't go, right? Which is silly, right? That's absurd. That should never happen.
That's why I was saying that you do a 4-team playoff for the conference to kind of figure that out.
As long as you say, if you lose this, you don't go. Otherwise, if everybody goes and 3 people lose and they go anyway, then who gives a shit? Why did you even play it? If all 4 just go, who cares?
Or we force conferences to be no larger than 9 teams.
I mean, so like a conference size thing, but they clearly the decision makers don't want that. But
that'd be ideal if you had
that would be the answer, right?
All conferences were 9 teams. You play all 8 opponents in your conference. No conference championships. You play everybody. Let the cards fall as they do, and then you take the top 16 teams based off of that. Yeah. That would be an ideal scenario.
And that's where you get to go like prove yourself in your like out of conference tournament.
And I don't see I don't see the G5 getting a second team in. I mean, if you had Army at 11-1, ranked 22nd, there's no chance in hell you're getting.
Well, and then at some point, there's the P4 are going to stop scheduling the G5 teams, and so then sure, Army went 12-0 in their schedule, but they didn't play anybody of stature because all those guys were P4.
So the highest ranking you can get is 17.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much what it is. So I guess we should be thankful that they're throwing us a bone at one spot. So.
Nah,
I mean it's their game. They're gonna do what they want. If they keep letting us in with one, it's better than split. Shutting out completely.
Rip the Band-Aid off. Have the split. Have the top 30 or 40 teams go on to do the next level of whatever the hell it's going to be, and let the rest of the other 90 Division I FBS football programs have true college football backs, true student athlete college football, and let the other guys.
They're not ready yet. They're still scheming. They'll get there. They're on that path.
There.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. It's going to happen when you start finally hearing talk about dropping programs. When you're getting rid of your Vandy's or your Kentuckys or whoever it may be, your Dukes, your Mississippi States, when you start having them talk about those programs no longer being part of the picture, because that's how you get all the cream to the top, is by getting rid of dumping the garbage, because you can add all these awesome programs to the SEC or the Big Ten, but every single time you do that, you still have programs that are holding you back, that are costing you money. Like what is SEC's money? Like $75 million, some crap like that a team?
They just
is Vandy generating $75 million in TV money? All right, at some point, Georgia and Bama and LSU and Florida and all these programs are gonna
Just
be
get
like,
tired of it.
why are we paying for Vandy to be here?
Sounds like welfare.
That's exactly what it is.
And he's like taking all that money.
I mean, good for
I don't know
them.
what they're
Hell,
using it for. They're redoing their stadium. There you go.
there's an old conference commissioner there's an old AD of Sewanee that's rolling over in his grave right now, figuring out what they lost out on by not staying, with college football in the SEC. So
it is interesting. Go ahead.
No, I got nothing. I was just going to ramble on the same bullshit.
I was just going to say, if you look at the last rankings and then it shows you the next week, so the teams they ranked 7 through 16, with the exception of Ole Miss, who beat Duke the following week, all of them lost. And then if you go to the teams starting 17 to 25, all of them but 2 won. So it's like, did you have it right? Did you have it right? Did you get those rankings right, or you just kind of inflated?
Maybe the solution is taking the basketball strategy, where their seasons took like 3 years. they were
wins.
super duper like that, and that's how you keep players with NIL. Like, all right, you're paid through the 2024 to 2028 season. It's just one season. We play for 12 months out of the year for 4 years, and that's the season.
That could be interesting.
And you have to make out with your teammates and humiliate other players as well.
Well, not that part, but could you have like intermediate between year like championship games?
Yeah, you could do like that's what soccer and what the NBA started doing with having these like little mid-season tournaments and stuff.
Can you imagine? So like it's cumulative wins, to kind of, you'd still get ranked and everything, but you'd see where teams are just like excelling.
Well, after one weekend of absolutely no football, college or pro this past weekend, sign me up for football 12 months out of the year. This was a miserable weekend. Normally, I get up in the morning and the kids are already awake watching TV, and I'm like, well, it's Sunday. You know what we do on Sundays? And they're like, oh, Daddy watches football. I'm like, yeah. And like, we put on football news until football starts, and we watch this all day long. Same thing on Saturday with college football. I'm just not normally there. And I woke up and I'm like, oh, I guess y'all can watch.
There ain't nothing to do.
Mickey race cars. Yay.
Race cars. Are you even remotely tempted to watch? I don't even know what the name of the league is. Whatever the thing is over in Birmingham.
United Football League.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I think it starts in March. I looked at it. I've struggled to figure out who my team is. Birmingham is the closest team geographically, but I'm from Memphis, so I kind of one of those, I guess, or something. I tried to watch it last year, and I literally just forgot that it was on.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'll watch it. And then CFL, we got Nick Arbuckle, possibly Darren Granger. We don't know exactly. Playing.
No, we do. I thought he retired.
Yeah, but then he got re-signed to a contract. I thought that was the question we didn't understand.
It just was. It felt like there was just not very much press about.
Well, no, Canadians aren't very good.
I thought he got picked up.
Canadians are not very good at anything. So
yeah, I think he was like part of the team.
Especially playing hockey. Canadians are not good at hockey.
I think he was like pick upable for the team. Like he was on the roster, like in some reduced capacity or something, like a practice squad type thing. And then they picked him up, and then he was like, "No, never mind. I'm out.
Deuces, I'm out.
I'm not doing this." Yeah, but I don't think they paid them all that much. I think I probably get paid more than CFL players. So
I think
I want to say that when Nick got signed as a starting quarterback to, I think it was Calgary, right before the pandemic hit, I think his contract was right around $250 a year.
Yeah, never mind.
But that was starting quarterback of a team. That's not being like, third string wide receiver who's probably not making anywhere near that same amount of money.
Minimum salary for 2025 is $70K. And pretty much everyone in the CFL makes somewhere between $70,000 and $600,000. There's not nobody's making $1 million in the CFL in a year, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that was like starting quarterback money, which is way different than the majority of the players on the team.
Right. Yeah.
So,
David, we should adopt the Birmingham Stallions.
why the Stallions? I'm not opposed, but why?
Because they're close, and every other team, I'm not interested in where they are.
I know. Well, there's the Michigan Panthers. That was like my only other connection.
It's far away.
It's really far away. I've got no connection to Michigan other than them calling something. And they're not even the same color. They are the Crimson Panthers, I think, right?
Which is a throwback, really.
Yeah, that could be a throwback. And Ethan, our Patreon member Ethan, would be all about that.
Mm-hmm.
Being
we could get
Michigan
a
guy.
Michigander
package.
Michigander.
That's what they are.
Gander?
They're Michiganders.
Aren't ganders geese?
I think they're male geese, right? A male goose is a gander.
I don't know. It sounds right. Follows the rooster nomenclature.
Yeah. David, we could $100 a piece, 5-game home season package for the Stallions. Kim would be all in on supporting this idea.
Okay, I agree. Here's the deal: we got to do is one of us has to agree to be DD, so we have to come up with a really fun way for one of us to agree to not drink the entire day while going to a football game.
Ooh, that's tough.
Or we get Kim to be our driver.
That ain't happening.
No, that's not happening at all.
What planet do you live on?
Yeah, not one in this reality. Not in this multiverse.
We just need to find someone that's into UFL. Hold on.
Yeah, United Football League, and they have the XFL division and the American Football League division.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. It kind of has this vibe of like MLS light.
Yeah. Oh, we got it. Becca's going to be our DD to go to Birmingham games.
Do what?
Nice.
I guess that means Ryan has to go to see UFL games, whether he wants to or not.
Ryan,
no, you guys just go without me. It's fine.
Becca will just be our DD.
Yeah,
there we go.
We will pay for all food and non-alcoholic beverages for Becca.
Actually, I'll pay for all of her alcoholic beverages because she can't have any because she's driving us.
All the alcohol she can drink.
All the alcohol you can legally consume while driving a vehicle.
April 11th, David, we will be at Protective Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama.
Is that UAB's new stadium?
I think so. I think they play in it. Yeah.
Let's do it, man. Let's go. April 11th. That's 7 days after my anniversary. That should be fair game.
It's a Friday night. That wouldn't be too bad.
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
You take the day. All right, Becca, take the day off.
Yeah.
Oh, nope. Ryan is required to attend.
Oh shit, Ryan, you want to go?
Yeah, I'm in now.
All right, so we'll go. We'll either take off Friday or take off a little early on Friday, and Becca will drive the SOA wagon all the way out to Birmingham. We'll get our group. They got good breweries. They have decent barbecue.
They do, and they have a good game. I'm gonna say good game.
It's
on a Saturday too, so
I did just think of a racist joke about Alabama. Leave it to Alabama. Leave it to Alabama to come up with white barbecue sauce.
Mayonnaise based.
I know, right?
And so like it's only coincidence that it's white.
True.
Correct. Yeah, that's just purely coincidence.
You meant
purely
white as in like a group of people that look like us made it up.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
The joke was about Alabama, not about us.
I said that look like us.
That look like us, yeah.
Mhm.
I had never had Alabama white sauce until I made it for a competition on turkey, and it was not bad. I wouldn't put it on like real barbecue, but on poultry, not horrible.
I will tell you.
I'll try it.
No, Halal Guys is like shawarma. It's like a chain shawarma place.
Super
it's
good.
Like street New York shawarma type place. But they've got white sauce, and if you look at the package, because they package it, it's so good. But it is it's Alabama white sauce, and that's what you
Yeah.
put on your shawarma, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's really good, but that's
I was talking.
where I like it. I've never had it on barbecue. I've had it on shawarma.
I would never put it on barbecue. The thought is repulsive to me to put it on barbecue. But I was doing a competition in Memphis, and they had a free turkey competition. They just sign up, $0. They would give you a turkey and just turn it in and see who won. You could still win money for it. It was just a sponsor through whichever company was doing the turkey donations, whatever. And there was the team next to us was a bunch of chefs, and I was like, I've never like done barbecue smoked turkey, like, other than like a traditional classic Thanksgiving style turkey, just smoked instead of roasted in the oven. I was like,
Right.
do you guys have any suggestions? Because they weren't doing the competition, so I didn't feel like I was crossing any kind of boundaries or whatever. And like, do Alabama white sauce on it. I'm like, so I was like, well, what goes in that? And he goes, mayonnaise and every seasoning in your arsenal that's not a color, like just like salt, white pepper, garlic, like anything. The only thing that they said to do was black pepper, because like you like to have the little specks, the little black specks look good in there. It's just visually, it's about the visual thing, whatever. And so I marinated it in Alabama white sauce, and then I smoked it and slathered it in there. And I was like, this is fucking delicious. It was really good. It was really, really good.
I will say I'll always try it if it's at a barbecue restaurant. But when I say try it, I mean it's on the side, and I might dip a little of the barbecue in it, and I'm like, no, I'm good.
Well, all right,
Off.
April 11th, we'll get some Alabama white as we cheer on the Stallions versus
With a free
the who?
turkey.
Against
Wow,
who? Who we playing?
Do you think I looked at that part? No.
Maybe if it's the Memphis Showboats, I probably got to wear my Showboat shirt.
Oh, I hope it's not.
I got to buy me a Showboat shirt.
It is the Arlington Renegades.
Renegades. That's pretty close to my Bobcats.
God, they have a team called the Houston Roughnecks. That's interesting.
Roughneck
Memphis
is
Showboats. What?
Roughneck, I think, is somebody who's a oil person. People that
That's right.
that's where the Roughneck name comes
Battlehawks. Showboats. They have some good names.
I remember the Showboats from their original tenure back in the early '80s in Memphis. They would dress up like buses to look like showboats, and that was like I think it's called MATA there, not MARTA. It's called MATA.
MATA.
And Metro Area Transit Authority.
Yeah.
Memphis Area Transit Authority, maybe is what it is. MATA. But they would basically doll up their buses, their trolleys, really. I guess it was their trolleys. They would dress up like showboats, and I remember seeing those driving around downtown Memphis. So, but yeah, Stallions, ride high. I don't know. What do you say? What's a mantra for Stallions? Mount up.
I didn't get that into it.
I'm thinking of like Young Guns. Was it Regulators? Mount up.
No clue.
Yeah.
They have 3 trophies. Does that mean something? Oh wow, they're back-to-back champions.
So we're hopping on the bandwagon. I'm even more into it now. We're hopping onto the Patriots right there at the beginning of the Belichick and Tom Brady era. It's fantastic. Let's do it.
Oh lordy!
All right. Since we've already gotten,
we're way off.
Since we've gone long, let's just keep it going. Like my long ass deck. Ryan, I saw Captain America: Brave New World,
and
I enjoyed it. It's gotten a lot of backlash, a lot of heat, but I thought it was good.
What's wrong?
I mean, it's nowhere near top echelon. It's not competing for any kind of like top 10 category.
I think the only backlash I've seen is just people not very interested in watching it. Like it's just not. It just didn't create very much fun.
I love Anthony Mackie, and I don't think this is not a spoiler. It's just he says one line towards in the movie, and Anthony Mackie is born in New Orleans or raised in New Orleans, so he's a Saints fan. Fuck that asshole.
Yeah.
But his character that he played prior to Captain America was the Falcon, right? And he says this line in the movie, "The Falcon awakens." And I texted at the movie was over. I texted one of my other Marvel Falcons buddies, and I'm like, having a Saints fan say the Falcon awakens in a movie. That's the movie could have been garbage. Could have been
You're like
absolute horror.
everything that they paid him leading up to this moment because he had a TV show, he was in multiple Marvel movies. He's he finally got his own Marvel movie. All of it was just for that one line.
Exactly. And my buddy replied back, I thought the exact same thing. So yeah, it was worth it. No, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I think he did a good job with it. I had fun. I enjoyed it. And
I'll watch it when it's graduates from the cam. Right now I got the camera view of it, and I'll
I
watch it when-
almost invited you to go because I went solo on Sunday night, and I almost invited you. And if you still lived in the area, I probably would have invited you. But at the live, I even like really pulled up your name on my phone. I was like, he's just gonna watch it on his pirated shit anyways. I'm not gonna invite him. But I did sit down, and I got seats. Like a dumbass, I got the front row of like the stadium seating.
Oh yeah.
And so of course I've got my pint of bourbon that I brought with me because I'm not paying $14 for a nip of bourbon there because that's ridiculous. But then I sit there and I'm so exposed and I'm like, oh man, I know they have cameras in here and shit. This is pretty.
You're not in a good spot, yeah.
But I still had my 2 cups of ice that I got from the stand for in my water cups. And so I sit there. As soon as like the lights dimmed and it was a church, the 2 dudes next to me just brought out flasks of whiskey and started like chugging it. And I'm like, I'm in like company. And so I poured my drinks and everything, make it through the entire movie. Movie's over, after credit scene's over, and these guys just start chuckling it up about the movie and shit. And I'm like, guys, I just gotta appreciate you. Like company. I love it. You're here and you're drinking whiskey and I pull. And he's like, dude, I fucking saw you pouring that shit. I was like, fuck yeah, this dude's one of us. It was awesome.
Luckily, AMC does not watch this podcast.
This was totally a Regal theater.
Yes.
Not AMC at all. No AMC should ever check their camera footage.
It's just a Regal theaters. That's right.
Regal theater. Yeah, that's the ticket, y'all. All right, before I incriminate myself on anything else,
let's wrap up.
Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.